So the first step is grounding. And what grounding is, it's bringing you back in. I bring your focus back in. I ground you in through meditation. I teach you how to love yourself by bringing your attention back into yourself, building yourself up, shrinking your amygdala, which is your fight or flight response, and increasing your hippocampus, which is the section of your brain where compassion resides. So you create more compassion for yourself, you reduce your anxiety, you create more love within yourself. The second step is clarity. And a lot of women tend to say, I'll know him when I find him. But this isn't the way to go about it. And the way that I describe it is if you're cooking a 5-course meal, which is intricate, you don't go grocery shopping for your ingredients without a list on an empty stomach. If you do, you're going to forget to buy some ingredients, and you're going to pick up some stuff that you shouldn't be getting. So the third step is overcoming fear. Now we've awakened your intuition through meditation. We've clarified what it is you're looking for. You know in your soul what it is you're looking for. You've put it on paper. You see it every day. And when you think of something else, you add to it so you know what you want. But when you get out there and you see them and you get that butterfly in your stomach, what do? So I teach you how to overcome your fear, how to cross the room, how to bridge the distance, how to burst the bubble, how to get him to see you, how to drop the handkerchief in front of him and get the chase started. The next step I teach is connecting, because what I want you to do is do step 3 over and over and over again. I want you to keep connecting with people, because what you're going to create is a selection from which you will choose the ideal man for you. Now, when you do that, you want to discover who they are. You want to take your time, and you want to see, what is this person? Who is this person? What is their behavior over time? And you're going to feel something with them. When you choose somebody to discover, because there's something between the two of you. So in the process of discovery, now you're going to create intimacy, because you're going to spend time together. And you're going to get to know each other. You're going to see into who they are. And you're going to open yourself up and let them see who you are. And that creates intimacy. And the final step, the 7th step, is love, 7th heaven. And in love, this is when you've kissed now. This is when you've created a relationship with this person. What do? And I like to say that love is a verb. Love is what you do with the other person, but it's also what you do for the other person. So how are you resolving conflict? How are you showing them that you're committed to the relationship? So when you're grounding, until you fully connect and love yourself, you're unprepared for a deeply intimate love. Unless you're turning inward and you're creating something so wonderful inside of you, you're not ready to accept somebody loving you so deeply, because it's going to feel so unfamiliar and so weird and so counter to the energy that you already have inside of you that you're going to reject it, because it's going to feel uncomfortable. So when you become comfortable with love and intimacy first within yourself, then it's more acceptable to accept it from other people and not push it away. So again, clarity, being clear on what it is that you're looking for. Removing your obstacles and overcoming your fears. Creating the selection. Taking your time to really discover who the other person is. Learning how to connect with your heart before you connect with your body. This is very important. And then overcoming obstacles together and resolving conflict in relationships. So when I do my seminars, initially when I first started doing them, I had a 5-hour version. and it wasn't long enough. There was so much that I was teaching that at the end I was rushing through the rest of the information. So people were saying, we need more time. So then I have an 8-hour version. Still at the end I was rushing through, and people were saying, I need more time. Now I have a 2-day version as well. So hopefully that's going to be long enough. So I'm going to take one lesson from each of the steps, just to give you an example of some of the things that I teach. So in grounding, what I like to teach you is how to deal with your emotions, because what we tend to do is we pick up stressors throughout our day. This person annoyed me. My boss said something and I couldn't react to it. Just people will say and do things, and in the moment it's inappropriate to let them know exactly how we feel about it, because it's a superior or it's somebody whose feelings we don't want to hurt, or we got stuck in traffic and it just created so much frustration, but it's not like we could get out of the car and let that frustration go on someone else. So we push it down and we push it down and we push it down, and what we're building is a lot of negative emotion inside of us. But what happens is, unless we learn to exercise it properly, then we explode on other people. And what happens when we explode on other people is we create collateral damage. So you have bricks that are flying everywhere, they're hitting other buildings, they're hitting other people, and it's just creating a lot of damage around you. And it's not intentional, but it happens. So what I teach people is, how do you take care of that explosion so that it's not creating collateral damage? So then what we do is a controlled demolition. And what a controlled demolition is, it's when you blow up a building, but on its own footprint. So nothing blows out. Everything blows in nice and tidy. Now, whether you blow up a building from the inside out or from the outside in, you still have to pick up all the bricks and truck it off somewhere. So when you do it this way, it's very easy to pick it up, put it in a truck, and truck it away. You're not picking up a brick here and a brick there. I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. You don't do that when you do a controlled demolition. So controlled demolition is what happens when you go into a meditative space. You go into your meditation, you calm yourself in meditation, and then you say, how am I feeling? And whenever I ask myself, how am I feeling when I'm meditating, something inevitably comes up. Anxiety, fear, stress that I hadn't dealt with before because it wasn't the right time. And it comes up inside of me, and I feel it bubble up, then I feel it grow because I allow it. I just let the feeling happen. How am I feeling? I name it, anxiety. Hello, anxiety. It's okay. And I let it happen, and it'll grow big, and it'll grow huge, and it'll choke me up inside a bit too, because it's so big and it's so much. But I let that happen. And what happens eventually is the feeling has its moment. And because it's had its moment, it just goes. And you'll feel it bubble up and then dissipate. And that's it. I've just had a controlled demolition, which means that that feeling isn't going to go explode on someone else that I'm going to have to apologize to later because they didn't deserve it. So a lesson from step 2 in clarity is know your no more. My no more was no more assholes. When I do my seminars, sometimes the women say, no more somebody who's going to waste my time and always be late. No more guys who don't hold down a job and are irresponsible. No more guys who have other girls on the side because my attention isn't enough for them. So knowing your no more, and more than knowing it, feeling it, letting it change you and affect who you are, is vital to clarity. Because when you know you're no more and you feel it, that's it. You're done. That guy isn't going to come in your life anymore. Overcoming fear, one of the things that keeps us from being in a good relationship is something called cognitive dissonance. And what cognitive dissonance is opposing thoughts happening simultaneously. And the best example of this is a woman who smokes a cigarette. And when she lights a cigarette, she goes, that's so good. And it feels so good, and she loves it. She loves how it feels. She loves how it feels. She loves just everything about it. But there's another part of her that says, this is terrible. This is aging me prematurely. This is bad for my body. Eventually, that Russian roulette is going to be a losing game, and something bad is going to happen inside of my body like a cancer. That's cognitive dissonance. It's so good, but it's so not. And so what happens with women sometimes is cognitive dissonance gets in our way. And the most common way that I see this is women go out on dates and they say, no, you don't pay for me. I'll pay for me. I'm a strong, independent woman, and I'm not going to let you cover this. And what happens is, it's because they feel uncomfortable with that process of somebody looking after them, of somebody taking care of them, of somebody doing something generous for them. Part of their brain says, I want to be in a relationship with a guy who looks after me, who is kind to me. But a part of their brain says, I'm uncomfortable with you doing this for me, and I'm going to reject it. And that's cognitive dissonance. And I teach women to accept kindness. And we're going to do something right now. I'm going to ask everybody to stand up. Everybody stand up. And what I want you to do is I want you to turn to 4 women, each and every one of you, and you're going to give each of these 4 women a compliment. No, not yet. You're going to give each of these 4 women a compliment, and they're going to give you a compliment because their homework is giving 4 women a compliment. When you receive your compliment, I want you to say 2 words. Thank you. And that's all you say. So everybody start right now, find 4 women and give them a compliment and receive your compliments. Okay. Has everybody found 4 ladies? Awesome. How did that feel? Did anybody feel initially like the first compliment, did you feel butterflies, like discomfort in your stomach? That's cognitive dissonance. If you felt that, it's that embarrassment is a part of you saying, I love getting compliments, but I feel embarrassed about that. So when you overcome your cognitive dissonance, all it takes is poise. All it takes is thank you. When somebody wants to buy you dinner, thank you. When somebody wants to take you on a nice date, thank you. That's it. And this is how you can eliminate the guys and really make sure that you're plugging into a man. Because when it comes to a man, there's 3 things he wants to do for you. He wants to protect you. He wants to profess his affection for you. He wants everybody to know that he's the man for you and he's standing by your side. And he wants to provide for you. So he wants to pay for those dinners. And when you don't let him, it's like he's a 3-legged stool and you just taken away one of the legs. And he's not going to stand around anymore because something vital is missing for him in this relationship, which is the ability to be all the man he wants to be for you. I'm going to get everybody to stand up again because I really want us to do something else that's going to overcome our fear. And what I really love to get women to do when it comes to tapping into yourself is you need to move your body. When you move your body, when you feel your soul inside of yourself, it is the most amazing thing you can do. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play a song, and we're going to dance to this song, and we're going to dance like nobody's watching. Are you ready? Is everybody ready? Okay, let's play this. This is one of my favorite songs. This is my power song right here. And who's more powerful than Madonna? I don't know. So everybody, I want you to put your arms up in the air. I want you to feel your spirit moving up from you. And you know what happens when you do this? This is called the power pose. What's a power pose? Something that makes you feel better, something that makes you feel stronger, something that makes you feel amazing. What happens when you do a power pose? You tell your brain, I am confident. I got this. Shit. I got this covered. I got this right now. When you do this for 2 minutes, science will tell you, you keep your arms up for 2 minutes, your confidence goes up. Why? Because I'm a winner. What does a winner do? I got this. I won. Let's go, ladies. Let's move this. Come on. Let's dance. Bring it up. I don't see your arms up in the air. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Come on. I'll lift you up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's move it. Let's move it. Look at each other. Dance with each other. Come on. I love this. She's sitting in her arms up in the air. I love you. That's it. That's the spirit. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. Let's feel it in here. Where are we, sexy ladies? Where are we, sexy ladies? Right here. Where's it happening? Right here. Bring it down. Move the hips. Let's go. Come on, mama. Move the hips. We got this. What's going on? What? What's this? What? That's it. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling your body, your femininity? Is it in there? I love you. Let's get the arms up. Let's feel this. Let's feel this. Do we got this? All the way. I love it. Let's do this. Come on, ladies. I see you. Love's gonna lift me up. Let's do this. I feel it. Lift me up. Love is gonna lift you up, every single one of you. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Bring it in. Where is it again? Where are we sexy again? Let's let it go. Let's let it go. Let it loose, ladies. Let it loose, ladies. Let it loose, ladies. Feel your body move. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What feels good to you? What feels good to you? I'm going to carry on. Nothing's going to stop you. Why? Because you love you, and you know you, and you appreciate you. And what do we have here? So much love. So much love. Thank you. Thank you for doing this with me. You people are awesome. You people are awesome. You people are awesome. All right. Step 4. Say that louder. Say this. I love this. This is the most common reaction. Why? Why do women say this? Why does not kissing for 3 months after you meet a man not make sense? Why does that not make sense? Why do we meet somebody, we feel a butterfly, and then we get in a relationship with them based on nothing more than a butterfly? He's a stranger. When you're kissing, ladies, and like no shame here at all, but if you're kissing a man, are you kissing anybody else? Who, if they kiss a man, is not going to kiss anybody else? Who, if they're kissing a man, isn't looking for another man to date? Hands up in the air. If you're kissing somebody, are you looking for anybody else to date? No. But why is it that you meet a stranger and you go, I'm going to give you testing grounds. I'm going to give you the ability to take me out of the dating field before you know who he is. Why is that making sense to you? It's culture that makes you do that. Because when you watch TV, when you read the magazines, it's all about meet him and kiss him. Meet him and kiss him, meet him and have sex, meet him and commit. And that doesn't make sense. It should be meet him and get to know him. Now, Here is where you tell the difference if he's a guy or a man. Because when you say, I like you, because really that's why you're seeing him again, right? Or that's how you're feeling at the end of the first date, or at the end of the first time you meet him. I like you because you make me laugh, because I feel safe with you, because you seem like a nice guy, you're intelligent. I like how I feel when I'm around you. I like you. But I don't kiss until I know who someone is, because I don't commit until I know who someone is. And for me, my rule of thumb is 3 months. Now, why do you say 3 months? Because it doesn't make it vague. It's not, I'll kiss you when I know you better. Well, when is that? You know, both of you have the question in your head of when is the right time. If you set a date out for 3 months, and I mean a date, like, you know, today is February 6th, so February, March, April, May, or 7th. So May 7th will be 3 months from today. If you meet somebody today and you say to him, I want to wait until 3 months, May 7th, before we kiss, a guy is going to say, that's too long. I can't wait that long. I need to be satisfied sooner than that. A man is going to say, okay, let me take out my phone and put that date in the calendar, because I want to be the man who's going to be standing in front of you at the end of 3 months getting that kiss. So guys are all about instant gratification. They're not thinking long term. You want to be with somebody who sees you in their life long term. You want to be with somebody who's willing to wait to have you in his life. If he needs to have you right now, he's looking for someone. He's not looking for you. He's looking for someone. You want to be with somebody who wants to be with you, not with someone, which means you have to let him get to know you. And you have to know that at the end of 3 months of getting to know you, is everything still happening between the two of you? Is there still chemistry? Is he still interesting? Are you still interested in him? This is your time. Oh. So a lesson from step 5. Somebody yell out the answer to this. Men are as sensitive as... I'm going to tell you, men are as sensitive as women. And this is actually surprising, but the way that I know this is my nerdy brain, science. And I fucking love science, because science is the basis of everything that I teach. So what they did is they had men and women come into research lab, and they separated them. And they sat them in front of TV screens, and they hooked them up to get their physiological responses. So if you've ever seen a lie detector test, it checks your sweat, it checks your heart rate, it checks your brain waves. So it sees what's happening inside of you. So they hooked up the men, and they showed them pictures. And the pictures were either funny, or they were exciting, or they were heartwarming. And what they found is that men tested just as strongly as women with funny and exciting. But guess what? When it came to heartwarming, they tested twice as strong. They beat us out when it comes to feeling the emotion heartwarming. But here's what happened. Men, when they were boys, what did their dads say? Boys don't cry. Suck it up. Be a man. You have to be a man. Grow up. And so boys, what they did is they pushed their feelings down. Boys, little boys, cry just as much as little girls. But they're told, no, you don't cry. Girls cry. It's okay for girls to cry, but boys don't cry. But boys feel just as emotional as we do. Men are just as emotional as we are. But in fact, men have been told to push it down so much that when they ask them after the testing, how emotional were you? 68% underrated their emotional response. But they are fundamentally just as emotional as we are. Some of them don't even know it. So, intimacy. One of the lessons that I teach when it comes to intimacy is something called a 20-second hug. And a 20-second hug is hugging and holding somebody past the point of that awkward moment. And that awkward moment has been culturally set. So culture says we hug for this long, and we have a little timer in our head, and the timer goes bing, and then we let go. But if we go past that timer in our head, what happens? And I want you to go home and I want you to try this on somebody today. I want you to go home and give somebody a 20-second hug. And I want you to pick the person that most needs to be loved. And I want you to hold them past that moment where you feel awkward and keep holding them. I love this. Keep holding them, and you're going to feel something happen. And what you're going to feel happen is your heart energy coming together. You're going to allow the cultural barrier to come down, and you're going to allow you to feel each other, and you're going to feel a warmth inside of you. And that's your energies coming together. That's love flowing freely between your hearts. So learning to be intimate, learning to let your heart connect before your body is the most important step to building intimacy with somebody before you commit to them. Now, I just want to say, when I say no kissing for 3 months, I'm not saying no holding hands. I'm not saying no cuddling. I'm not saying no hugging them for as long as you want. I'm not saying no slow dancing in your kitchen, which is what I ended up doing in my 3-month no kissing period when I was doing this for myself. You can have as much affection as you want. You can have your hand on him the entire time you're spending time with him. You can do that. Just no kissing, because kissing creates that aphrodisiac. And when you create an aphrodisiac, try not having sex. Almost impossible. So by not kissing, but by allowing physical intimacy to happen, you're building a relationship. You're really seeing where this goes with them. So, I keep skipping ahead here, sorry. Now, one of the lessons from step 7 is how to say I'm sorry. This is one of the biggest lessons in terms of really creating peace in your relationship. So how do you create an apology that's actually going to be meaningful? Because how many times has somebody apologized to you and you get defensive? Why did you feel defensive when they apologized? Because they used the word but. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but this is what you did to instigate it. That's not an apology. That's why you felt defensive, because that wasn't an apology. An apology does not contain the word but, because when you give an apology without the word but, you really are truly apologizing, and you don't need to apologize for anything other than your behavior. You don't need to apologize for anything other than what you did. So, for instance, you get in a fight and you blow up and you lose your cool. Then your apology is, I'm sorry, I lost my cool. I should have stayed calm. I could have stayed more calm. And that's it. I'm sorry I said something that was hurtful, that was just mean, and it was just me being angry and defensive in the moment. And that's it. It's simply taking responsibility for your own behaviors. And when you do that, and they come back at you with but, that's on them. That's not yours to own, because you've already owned yourself. So what we're going to do right now is a little Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, does anybody have a question? I see, I have somebody with a microphone here. She's going to come over. So Kathy, I got a lady right here. Yeah, oh, is it working? Sorry, the microphone's not.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Hi. What dating websites work? I actually, to meet that type of man. See, the thing is, they are everywhere. So no matter where you go, it's still a selection of separating the guys from the men. And I don't talk about online dating because what I want women to do is turn the computer off, turn their attention inward, build themselves up from the inside, create intuition, and then take that intuition out into the real world. And then what you're going to do is you're going to see somebody at the coffee shop. You're going to see somebody at a store somewhere. You're going to see him, you know, maybe not in a place like this because it's all full of women, but you're going to go to some kind of other trade show. And you're going to see a man from across the room. And because you've awakened your intuition through meditation, you're going to have that sensation that tells you there's something about him for you to check into. And that's what I want you to respond to. I don't want you to respond to your profile online. Like, do, but then still use the steps of eliminating, is he a guy or a man? Still figure that out. But I really want you to listen to yourself and let your heart direct you. If you're looking at online profiles and something inside of you gives an indication, then follow that. And this is the complaint. Like, a lot of women say, I hate online dating because the guys, they just want one thing. Here's the thing, we set the standard, and a woman can change a guy into a man simply by creating a boundary and saying, look, I want you to respect my boundary. I don't kiss for 3 months. And it's the same thing. If he's a guy, but he's interested in you, if he sees something in you that makes him want to be with you, he will man up. And he'll turn himself into a man for you. Anybody have a question? Do we have a question? Okay, so I'm going to teach a couple more points. And if anybody has any more questions, then put your hands up and we'll address that. So one of the things that I teach in terms of being in a relationship is teaching him what it is that you need. And often what women say is, he should just know. He should just know when I'm feeling hurt. He should just know when I'm upset. He should know when I'm frustrated. And he should be able to fix this. And that's not fair. Here's the funny story. Me and one of my exes, we had a great relationship, but every once in a while the lines would cross. And we would have something that would happen just based on not understanding what the other person was thinking. And this is what he would do. He'd turn and look at me and he'd go, read my mind. And then we would laugh because really that's what was happening, is one of us was hoping that the other would just understand what it was that we needed from the other person. But we can't read each other's minds. We need to communicate what it is that we need. And usually women, what we need is a man who's going to listen and just listen and then put his arms around us and tell us everything is going to be okay. And that's all we need. We just need to get it out, and then we need to be comforted. But men don't quite understand that because they're fixers. They're the solution guys. So when we come at them, when we say, I have a problem, they say, well, let me tell you how to fix this. This is what you should do. This is what you should tell her. And next time you should leave earlier so that you're not late and getting all frustrated. And that just makes us mad because that's not what we wanted. We just wanted you to not say anything, listen to us talk, and then put your arms around us and say everything is going to be okay. So how do you communicate that? It's very simple. Men are very simple. Man, a few words. We use 20,000 words a day. They use 5. So the less words you use with a man, the better you're going to get your message across. So here's what you do. You come home, it's a frustrating day, you need to vent. You say to him, I need to tell you what happened, and I need you to just listen, and then put your arms around me and tell me everything is going to be okay. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to listen, then he's going to put his arms around you and tell you everything is going to be okay. You're going to feel better, and he's going to feel better because he knows what he did right now was make everything okay. And nothing makes him feel more like a man than knowing that he made your day better.